Welcome to another video of U.S. Immigration TV. Today I want to discuss the difference between a fraud waiver and a provisional waiver. A lot of people are confused as to what they are. I mean, both are waivers, but exactly what is it that they are waiving? And don't forget that at the end of the video to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe, because we want to constantly bring you useful information, updates, breaking news about immigration that you might find useful, or maybe your friends, family, or coworkers will find useful. Okay, so let's get into it. Fraud waiver versus provisional waiver. For a fraud waiver, it is when you have committed fraud or a material misrepresentation about a fact. Material misrepresentation is that what you're lying about affects your eligibility for a visa. Typical fraud is entering the U.S. under a different name, submitting a fake document of some kind, things like that. If you're caught with fraud, ordinarily you are not eligible for your green card or visa. You're considered what's called inadmissible. So you have to submit a fraud waiver. To submit a fraud waiver, you have to have a spouse or parent who is a U.S. citizen or immigrant or green card holder. Those are called qualifying relatives, spouse or parent who is a citizen or immigrant. You must then demonstrate that your qualifying relative will suffer extreme hardship. Extreme hardship basically is demonstrating why they cannot uproot themselves from the U.S. and, let's say, relocate to your home country. It is a complex packaging of cases, many factors that need to be addressed, many documents that need to be gathered. But basically, fraud waiver is asking for forgiveness when you have committed certain types of fraud. And be aware that not all misrepresentations are material, or meaning having a bearing on your eligibility. If somebody lied about their shoe size, yeah, it's a lie, but it's not material to your eligibility. In fact, we've had some cases where a person had been accused of fraud, and we were able to show that the misrepresentation was not material and therefore no fraud waiver required. Again, it's rare instances, but it could still be possible. Let's move over to provisional waiver. Again, provisional waiver, you're asking for forgiveness. In this case, you're asking for forgiveness of the 3 and the 10-year bar if you have to go outside the U.S. to apply for your immigrant visa. Typically what happens is a person is under petition, let's say by an employer or a family member, the priority date becomes current, but they are out of status in the U.S. They're in the U.S. If you're out of status, ordinarily you are not eligible to apply for a green card in the U.S. or adjustment of status. You have to go back to your home country unless, for example, you have the benefit of a law called Section 245I, which required that you be petitioned before April 30, 2001, or sometimes if you're married to a U.S. citizen. So let's say you're out of status and you're not eligible to be processed for your green card in the U.S. You have to go back. If you leave, you'll be subject to the 3 or the 10-year bar. So the provisional waiver allows you to apply for forgiveness or a waiver of the 3 and the 10-year bar in the U.S. before you go. And it's similar to the fraud waiver in the sense that you have to have the qualifying relative, spouse or parent who's a citizen or immigrant, and demonstrate that they will suffer extreme hardship. Now be aware, you're not eligible to apply for a provisional waiver if you also have fraud. The only thing is, the only violation for provisional waiver is having overstayed. Those are the fundamental or basic differences between fraud waiver and provisional waiver. I hope you found this informative. I hope I've clarified that issue. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'm Michael Gurfinkel, and this is U.S. Immigration TV.